Triple flicks. Lock me up, lock me up. Word.
Yo, it's the Viz, Triple Flicks Mafia, here to do another movie review. I hope y'all have enjoyed us adding these to the channel. We've had a lot of fun doing these. The three of us were all kind of beginners at movie reviews, but it's been a lot of fun, talking about some different titles and different companies and new releases, old releases. It's been a good time. This one was actually a request. It's an older film. I assume the majority of you have seen it, but it's an amazing film and I love watching it. I just watched it again before I shot this just to kind of get it flowing really well. And that is 1980 John Carpenter film, The Fog. Just right off the bat, biggest thing that stands out to me when it comes to this movie is just the atmosphere. John Carpenter does that so well. He does it well in The Thing. He does it well in the Halloween movies. That's just a special touch that he has that I don't think any other horror director has been able to really figure out. But it also helps that he writes, he directs, and he for some of these movies he's in control of the music, which is a big deal when it comes to kind of creating the vibe that you want, the atmosphere. Music always helps out with that. The score for The Fog is incredible, very simplistic, a lot of pianos, a few little synthesizers, and then it has that loud organ theme song. But obviously I have the music playing under the video, so but yeah, the biggest thing with this movie for me is the atmosphere. Quick little just synopsis of the movie in case you haven't seen it. If you haven't seen it, just stop watching this video. Don't listen to me. Just go watch it. And then after you watch it, you can come back and watch this video and hear me talk about it. But pretty much it's like a little ocean, seaside town. And I want to say it's in California. It's called Antonio Bay. And first of all, I love the atmosphere. I love any movies that kind of have that ocean setting. This would be a really fun one if you want to watch a horror movie like during the summertime. This would be a cool one to watch. But yeah, it's this little seaside town, and I love the intro. It has this older man telling this kind of ghost story to some kids over a campfire, and he talks about how on this certain day, I believe it's April 21st, 100 years ago, there was a ship coming into this town, and it shipwrecked, going through all of this fog, and it wanted to come into the town because it saw a light, and so it was trying to reach that light, but they ended up shipwrecking and all the people died. And so throughout the movie, and that's the night of April 21st when he's telling that story, it's about to be midnight and be April 21st. So the whole movie just goes through the span of this one day. It starts about midnight on that first night, and it goes through the next day, and it all kind of ends up coming all together the night of the 21st. So there's some little twists and turns in the storytelling and what this fog means and why this town is cursed from this it's almost like these ghosts that are coming through the fog. The fog supposedly is the big sign when it hits, that it's a sign of this sunken ship and these dead sailors, fishermen, whatever they are, from this boat. You can kind of see them there on the cover. But there's some underlying secrets about the town of why that happened 100 years ago, and pretty much these ghosts are out for revenge from why it happened. I don't know if that made any sense. It's really easy to follow. You watch the movie, and it's just such a good story, and I just love the setting of all the different scenes. You obviously have just the ocean scenes. There's parts where they're going out on the boats and yada yada yada. The ocean scenes when the fog's coming in, it has this glow to it. The cinematography is great. I think one of the most beautiful shots of the movie is when Adrienne Barbeau, she's like a radio DJ, and she owns the lighthouse, so that's like where she goes to work. And she's going up these big steps to get to the lighthouse, and it's just on this mountain top with the ocean surrounding it. It has this weird, like, creepy music playing. It's just such a really breathtaking shot. I would just assume, sitting behind the camera shooting that shot, you'd be like patting yourself on the back, like, this is good stuff. But then even in the town, there's like a little weather station, there's a couple people's houses, there's a bar, there's all these kind of different little places that have different scenes, and there's just something about the atmosphere. It feels so 80s, and it feels very warm, as if you lived in this little town. And it's a small town, and I don't know, I just really dig the atmosphere of this movie. I think outside of the first Halloween, this would be my second favorite John Carpenter movie. I think I like this more than The Thing, to be honest. It is kind of a slow burn, but I think it's like the perfect type of slow burn. I think it's the definition of a slow burn that is supposed to be a slow burn. It's just paced very well. All the characters are interesting. Speaking of the characters, you got Tom Atkins in it from Halloween 3. You got Jamie Lee Curtis in it, which a lot of people kind of like click her with this movie a lot, but she really doesn't do very much in the movie. She's like a hitchhiker, and Tom Atkins picks her up, and then she's just kind of tagging along the whole movie. But Adrienne Barbeau, she plays a huge role in the movie. She's like the radio DJ. I forget that guy's name. He's the priest in the town. He plays a big part in the movie. And then you got Nancy Loomis, from the first Halloween. She's in there. And, a couple other kind of recognizable faces. But just a great movie. If I had to rank this, I would give it, just on a horror scale, especially like 80s horror, I would give it like a 9 out of 10. I don't really see any flaws in this movie. The ghost monster things are awesome. The way they shoot those walking through the fog is just so creepy. You can just see their silhouette. It's just done so well. The story, 10 out of 10. The cinematography, just everything about it is just pretty much flawless to me. It's only an hour and a half. It's not like it's super long. I love the intro with the old man telling the story to the kids, and then at the very end of the movie you get another little speech talking about the fog. It's just so compelling. Like it's just one of those movies, if you're just quiet and just sit in a dark room and watch it maybe late at night or something like that, it's just so incredible. It's not a movie you'd want to watch just like hanging out with friends and you're just kind of halfway watching it. It's one you really want to just sit down and just be completely in it. And it's great. It's so great. This is obviously the Scream Factory edition. I think this Scream Factory came out in 2013. It's one of probably the first few collector's editions. There's the reverse artwork. And then it's just one disc, with the newly commissioned artwork, same as the slipcover. It comes with a good amount of special features, which I haven't even watched all these special features. I think I've watched a few of them, but it's a new 1080p high definition transfer. You have audio commentary with John Carpenter and Deborah Hill. Some audio commentaries with actors Adrienne Barbeau, Tom Atkins. Interview with Jamie Lee Curtis. Tales from the Mist, Inside the Fog featurette. Fear on Film, Inside the Fog featurette. Storyboards, Horror's Hallowed Grounds, a new look at the film's locations, outtakes, theatrical trailers, TV spots, and a photo gallery. So you got a good little list there of special features. But yeah, The Fog, amazing movie, just so great. Definitely in my top 5 Scream Factories for sure. I like it more and more every time I watch it. I think when I watched it today, that's probably about fourth or fifth time I've watched it. I was new to this movie. I'd never seen this movie until I bought the Scream Factory a few years ago, and just thoroughly enjoyed it ever since. So like I said, solid 9 out of 10. I don't even know what I'm really counting off from it, but I don't know. It just doesn't feel like a 10 out of 10, but it's definitely a 9. So if you haven't seen it, check it out. If you have seen it, let me know down below, like your thoughts on it. Do you love it? Do you think it's boring? I've heard some people think that it's boring, but let me know what you think about it. But yeah, that's it. How we always wrap up these videos, I'm gonna show the trailer, and hope y'all enjoyed this. I appreciate it. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't. I'll talk to y'all later. It's the Viz, Triple Flix Mafia. Peace out.
John Carpenter's The Fog.
This is KB Antonio Bay. Stevie Wayne here, and let me be the first to wish Antonio Bay a happy birthday. We're 100 years old today, and keep a watch out for that fog bank heading in from the east.
100 years ago, between midnight and 1, something unknown came out of the fog. Now it has returned.
Oh, Jesus.
100 years ago, between midnight and 1, something unnatural came out of the fog. Now it has returned. 100 years ago, between midnight and 1, something evil came out of the fog. Now it has returned.
Who's there?
The fog.
Antonio Bay has a curse on it. We're all cursed.
There's no water getting here, but something awful cold, Pete.
I think I'll go to Vancouver now.
Where's the fog now?
Well, it should be right outside my door now.
Oh, there's something different about this fog. Dan, stay away from the door! Someone listen to me!
Get inside and lock your doors. Close your windows. There's something in the fog. Stay away from the fog. From the creator of Halloween, the ultimate experience in terror and suspense. John Carpenter's The Fog, starring Adrienne Barbeau, Jamie Lee Curtis, John Houseman, Janet Leigh as Kathy Williams, and Hal Holbrook as Father Malone. The Fog. What you can't see won't hurt you. It will kill you. Between midnight and 1, it will find you.